Why do you enjoy this nonsense? It's so violent. Why don't you go outside? Why don't you do something productive? I heard it all as a kid. I just wanted to play some games. Was that so wrong? This video is for little Brandon, and anyone else who found that the world looked down on them for playing games. Despite the chorus trying to discourage me from enjoying one of my favorite hobbies, looking back on those times, I can confidently say that playing games planted the seeds for some of the best habits and mindsets that would blossom in my adult life. I imagine that they either already have for you as well, or that they will with some tender loving care. I think the positives of gaming deserve far more attention than they get. So today, I'm here to put the spotlight on 5 essential habits and mindsets playing games helped me develop. Because it wasn't wasted time. It was an investment in my future self, even when I didn't realize it. Number 1. I learned pretty quickly when I was a wee lad that games are expensive. And that means you don't get to have every single game you want. You especially don't get to have every single console. But if you love games and want to try all the different kinds out there, what do? You save up your allowance, however long that takes. You prioritize ruthlessly. You don't have the money to buy every single one, so you better choose carefully. You don't let sudden purchase impulses steer you away from your goal. That money is for a specific purpose. Shadow Hearts, baby, heck yeah! As an adult, this has been one of the most widely applicable mindsets I learned as a kid. Opportunities to go into debt are everywhere, and they're always advertised as if they exist to help you. Debt is definitely beyond the scope of this video, but I will say that learning patience by saving up my money for games as a kid gave me a strong foundation for resisting all of the advertising. Number 2. Everyone loves Elden Ring. But even if you eventually master the game, your first go at it was probably pretty rough around the edges. Why is that? Why weren't you amazing at it from the start? I know, that sounds ridiculous. It's so obvious it doesn't bear asking. Because you are new to the game and inexperienced. Let me try this instead. Why do we so often give up on new things outside of games when they get hard? As we just established, it would be unreasonable to expect that we would be masters of something we've never even attempted. Yet this is so often what we do. Every failure is a nice bundle of experience points that we can hoard until we finally have enough to overcome whatever hurdle stands in our way and level up. Rinse and repeat. For me, I found that sticking with what I start and seeing it through to the end pays dividends in a professional environment. Like our friend the fire giant in Elden Ring, no matter how many times my task seemed insurmountable, no matter how many times I got steamrolled despite totally dodging the attack, I'd respawn, face the dread, and keep at it. Sure, I had some embarrassingly fast failures, but we're built on failure. Failure is the essential nutrient for growth. So get in there and fail. Grind for those experience points. When you fall, get back up. Even if your success doesn't look like what you imagined when you started, that doesn't make it any less valuable. Your earned resilience is a reward all its own. Number 3. What do you do when you're just not ready? The answer is as easy as it is infuriating. Start. Start as soon as you identify that it's something that truly matters to you, that it's something that aligns with your goals. No matter how rough of a beginning it is, the sooner you start, the better. Suck at chemistry? Start on that chemistry homework ASAP. Don't know how to write spreadsheet formulas to leverage data? Look for a tutorial. Want to play Phantasy Star Nova but don't know Japanese? Start studying Japanese. Start from the basics and work your way up. So lost you can't even identify what's basic and what's not? Even easier. Start from the first thing you don't understand. Piece by piece, you'll start to see the picture come together. My favorite part of all this is that, for most things, you'll probably never see the entire picture, and it won't even matter. I love this perspective because it is freeing. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to be close to perfect. Once you've gotten the biggest bits in place, the rest is often nothing more than nice to have, but not necessary by any means. Number 4. Managing your expectations and staying motivated are key. Lose control of those two things and you're in for a rough time. This is where a mindset that values and prioritizes experimentation comes in handy. I've recently just started playing Valkyrie Profile Lenneth on my PS5, and despite having played a decent chunk as a kid, some of the mechanics are not immediately clear to me. Go in with the mindset that everything is an experiment. Sure, do the best you can with what's available to you, but always treat it as an experiment. Gather data. What worked? What didn't? Use that information to make small changes. If you can change just a single variable, even better. In Valkyrie Profile, you can create crystals that act as platforms. The game doesn't tell you every single detail about how they work, though. It's up to you to play around with them and see what you can and cannot do. If this sounds ridiculously simple, it's because it is. That's precisely my point. It's tempting to make sweeping changes when we don't get the results we want. Sometimes it's warranted, but slow and steady with one change at a time is incredibly good at getting results. Forget about big and flashy. Put yourself on the right path and take one step at a time. When you veer away from your goal, change a variable and see if it moves you closer to that goal. Number 5. Finding enjoyment in whatever you're doing, finding the fun, is probably the most challenging mindset to adopt on this list. Learning to enjoy the process is the same as learning to enjoy life. Wherever you are at any given moment, that's all you have. If you have a choice between hating the experience and enjoying it, which one are you going to choose? When I'm getting smashed in Apex Legends, I can get a little grumpy. If I don't make an effort, that's probably how it will end, and it does sometimes. I have to find something I can enjoy in that moment and focus on that, even if it's just trying to snipe people with a shotgun. Stand still already. Some might think this comes naturally to everyone who plays games, but it's really easy to make the mistake of turning games into work. Somehow we find a way to suck the fun out of it. Channeling the kid inside and letting yourself be in wonder of what you're playing can be tough. Once you've seen yourself go through this pattern with games for a while, it starts to make you a little more aware of how you're reacting to your current situation. I'm not saying you're going to fall in love with formatting Microsoft Word documents at work, but learning to enjoy the process can take what could have been a horribly tedious day and turn it into a productive day, with new skills learned and real value provided to the reader of your impeccably formatted document. It all sounds easy, but don't be fooled. Finding a part of whatever you're doing that sparks interest from you can take some creativity in molding your perspective. But putting this into practice has had a tremendous impact on the quality of my life. You don't have to get it right the first time. Keep at it, and you'll find your way. Playing games isn't the only way we can learn to think and behave in ways that benefit us long term. Absolutely not. But I think it's important that we give games credit for their contributions. I feel like I could talk for days on this topic. The tiniest of efforts to look deeper into our favorite hobby, we find a treasure trove of benefits. And all we have to do is apply them gradually in our lives. We're never going to be able to snap our fingers and become our ideal selves. All we can do is make intentional decisions when we see opportunities to do things better than we have before. I doubt anyone who saw me playing games as a kid would ever have imagined that they would help me develop the habits and mindsets I needed for success as an adult. If you find yourself surrounded by people who don't think very highly of our beloved hobby, that's okay. Because you know how much good there is to be found in games. What habits and mindsets have games helped you develop? Let me know in the comments. Remember to subscribe for more and to give the video a like to tell the world there's value here. Now go find some fun. Peace.